And now for a rant told positively. Unless you're seeing the newly cult, awesome, terrible film, The Room, or you're seeing the cult 1975 classic, horror picture show, please don't talk. When you go to the movies, other people are there. They paid $12.50 to sit down and enjoy the latest blockbuster, or they're there to see something from the last 100 years of cinema, something that should be respected and enjoyed. Please don't talk during the movies unless you're at home, because the movie theater is not your living room. It is so disrespectful, so disrespectful. Thank you. Tonight was a really fun night. I went to the theaters, my local theaters, to go see the 20th anniversary edition of Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino's first film. I went with one of my good friends that I've known for the last 20 years. This film that I can't believe for the life of me that this was Quentin Tarantino's first real movie. You think like another director, this might be a film that he or she would have done maybe 5 or 6 films in, but this was Quentin Tarantino's first film. And some of the memories I have about seeing this movie, I had to think about it, and I also had to ask my friend because he was involved in this experience with me when we were teenagers. I think he was the one that introduced me to this film first. Now, I don't remember if I actually heard of Pulp Fiction yet. He's the one that rented the movie and said, "Chad, you gotta go see this film. Here's a copy of the movie." So I went home and I watched it, and I remember going, this is different. I'm so used to these big blockbuster films. This is so different. I don't think I've ever experienced something like that before. This independent cinema. This movie was my introduction to independent cinema. I do know that. And I really enjoyed this film when I first saw it. I enjoyed it so much that I grabbed an audio cassette tape and I plugged in the TV with the tape player and I recorded the whole movie on audio, just so I could put it in my Walkman or my stereo and just listen to it over and over and over again. And I think I did that like a couple years later with Pulp Fiction when that was released on video. But that's one of my favorite memories about this movie, and I wish I still had that audio tape because it was so interesting to listen to the dialogue. That's what's so great about this movie, and what's great about all Tarantino films. I'm a huge fan of Tarantino. I've loved every film, and in my opinion, he has never made a misstep. Every film that he has made is either one of the greatest movies ever made, one of the best movies ever made of that year, or a masterpiece. I would even dare to say that every film that he's done is a masterpiece in my eyes. It might not be to the world, but to me, it is. It is the greatest. It's an experience. When you go to the movies, you want to have an experience. You want to be thrilled. You want to be excited. Tarantino gives you that, but he gives it in such a unique way that no one else does it. And this film is just a prime example with such great casting and acting by Steve Buscemi and Harvey Keitel, Lawrence Tierney, and Chris Penn, and Michael Madsen, and Tim Roth, and Quentin Tarantino himself. It boggles my mind that this was the first movie he ever made. And he would go on to make so many great films, and he's got a new movie coming out within weeks, Django Unchained, which I'm so excited about. What else can I talk about this movie? Yes, I own the film. Yes, I'm proud owner of the movie, and yes, I could have just watched it at home, but this is a movie you need to see in the theater. I would love to see this done as a stage play, because that's how it's presented. This movie's presented like a stage play. It's presented in a way where you could go and you could experience live. And I don't know if anybody does this. If there's somebody out there, please let me know where I can maybe see this live, because this is the way it's presented. And I have the White edition, Mr. White, and I love it that all their names are Mr. Pink, Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Blue, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Orange, and all the things you find out about this movie. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't want to spoil too much, because there's so much cool stuff. If you've seen Quentin Tarantino movies and you've enjoyed them, but you've never seen Reservoir Dogs, go to the local Redbox, you can find it, or Netflix, or your local friend, or your local whatever video store, if there's any video stores out there. Rent this movie, buy this movie, just go out and buy it. And what's also great is that Quentin Tarantino from the beginning has given us great soundtracks. He doesn't hire a composer. He incorporates the music that he loves and puts them in his movies. And then they become the movies and the music that we love. And that's what's so great. I own every soundtrack from this film to Inglourious Basterds, and I'm looking forward to the soundtrack to Django. A few things that I really do enjoy about this film is the dialogue. and is the setting. I do like the fact that we never actually see the robbery. It's all aftermath or before. We're mainly learning about these characters as the movie goes along, and that's what's great about Quentin Tarantino. His films are not done in the typical conventional way. They are done in a way where we go back and forth a lot, or we might see the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie first. It's almost like a little puzzle piece, and we have to follow it so we can get or learn something new. And if I think it was told in a more conventional, straightforward way, there wouldn't be too many surprises. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, yes, there's a lot of great scenes of dialogue, especially in the beginning with the diner scene when they're talking about Madonna and Like a Virgin. But one of my favorite scenes is when they all get their names. And Mr. Pink is given to Steve Buscemi. He doesn't want it to be called for specific reasons I'm not going to say right now. It's so funny. It's so natural and genuine. This is such an amazing film. And it was such a thrill to get to see this for its 20th anniversary in a theater. Sadly, people were talking during the most part. I tried to just put up with it, but it's so disrespectful. This is a masterpiece. You know, if you want to talk during it, take it home and hang out with your buddies and recite the lines and whatever. But when you're in the theater, try and cherish and enjoy it. That's what the movie theater is there for. Unless you're seeing a certain maybe cult film, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is a film where you want to sit there and enjoy it, especially a Quentin Tarantino movie, because it's all dialogue. You know, there is violence, but the violence is there, it's intense. Now this has one of the most intense movies with a cop getting his ear chopped off. Oops, sorry. Spoiler alert. But this is what the movies like this is all about. They're dialogue, and you want to hear everything, because when the violence happens, yes, sometimes it can be stylized like Kill Bill, but when this film, it's all done in real time. That's exciting. But you want to listen. That's what I'm trying. The point I'm going to get to is this is a movie that you can literally put on a CD and listen to in your car. Because the dialogue's incredible. All Quentin Tarantino movies are incredible. And I love this movie. I'm so grateful to see this 1992 masterpiece again and get so much more out of it, to the point where at the end, when there's some things going on with characters and you're learning all these things and you get all this background noise, I couldn't help but listen to that background noise and knowing that the ending's coming and this final climax is just there, and it's like, ah! Alright, there you go. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter, and also go to WhoYouTube.com. This is a movie that you clap, that you cheer, that you laugh your butt off, but you don't talk. You don't talk. You don't talk.